Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, your journey, our passion, and by Dow Automotive Systems, improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com.
Hello and welcome to Autoline Daily. I'm Sean McElroy filling in for John today. In the second half of the show, we'll take a look at the new Mazda 3, but first, today's top stories. And we've got more financial earnings to look at today. First up is General Motors. The company sold about 2.4 million units in the last 3 months, which is up a little over 5% compared to a year ago. Its revenue in the third quarter was up about 4% as well, to $39 billion. However, the company's net profit dropped over 50% to just about $700 million. But things were a little better for GM's crosstown rival, Chrysler. The company sold a little over 600,000 vehicles in the third quarter, a jump of 8.5%. Its revenue increased over 13% to $17.6 billion, and its net profit hit $464 million, which is a gain of nearly 22%. Meanwhile, Volkswagen sold 2.4 million vehicles in the last 3 months, a gain of 1.5% compared to a year ago. However, the company's revenue dropped nearly 4% to about 47 billion euros, and its net revenue plunged over 80% to 1.9 billion euros due to an adjustment to last year's net profits. And last but not least, Honda posted its quarterly earnings. The company sold 869,000 vehicles, a gain of 6.5% compared to last year. Its revenue came in at just over $29 billion, close to a 2% gain, and its net profit jumped 20%, hitting $1.2 billion. Around this time last year, Ford announced that it will bring its 1-liter, 3-cylinder powered Fiesta to the US, and now we finally have some of its specs. The car carries an EPA rating of 32 miles per gallon in the city and 45 on the highway, which Ford claims is the best highway rating of any non-hybrid gasoline-powered car in the market. The 1-liter Fiesta cranks out 123 horsepower and 125 pound-feet of torque. In addition, the car is available with an overboost function to push it to 145 pound-feet of torque for 15 seconds. The 1-liter Fiesta arrives at dealerships this December with a starting price just under $17,000. With the SEMA show starting next Tuesday, we have been showing you an assortment of reveals from a bunch of automakers, so why not one more? Here are a few of the Moparized vehicles Chrysler will be showing off in Las Vegas. While most of the aftermarket parts are available in the Mopar catalog, there are a few concept parts and pieces that the company plans to gauge customer reactions with to see if it should offer them in the catalog as well, like these bead-locking wheels, this topical map graphic for the Cherokee, or even this tailgating seat that Bad Nickel on Twitter says will never get made because with no seatbelts, he fears the Bubbas of the world will say, "Hold my beer and watch this." And we all know nothing good comes after someone says that. Hey, and speaking of Twitter, if you would like to follow us, just head over to twitter.com/Autoline. Coming up next, a look at the all-new Mazda 3.
Dow Automotive Systems, driving solutions in automotive, commercial transportation, and aftermarket with innovative products like Betamate structural adhesives. Lighter, stronger, safer. dowbetamate.com.
The 2014 Mazda 3 is critical to the company. It accounts for 30% of their sales worldwide and is their best seller here in the United States. It comes in 2 body styles, a 4-door sedan and this 5-door hatchback. And there's 2 engines, a 2.5 liter with 184 horsepower and a 2 liter with 150. And like all Mazda 3s before it, it's the most fun to drive in its class.
What you'll really notice driving the car is the driving dynamics. We put so much effort into the way the car rides and handles, the way the steering feel is. The suspension geometry on this car is like a rear-wheel drive car. It's actually got as much caster as our RX-8 did. And what we did is we built the electric power steering. We tuned the steering around a manual steering car, which has a lot of feedback, but gave it the lightness of effort of a power steering car. And so when you bend it into a corner, you have so much feedback and so much contact feel with the road, and the car is so balanced and planted in the corner. It's something you don't find in a car at this price point. Also, the powertrain is incredibly efficient. We've pushed the compression ratio of the Skyactiv-G engine up to 13:1, which is an unheard of compression ratio for a race engine running on race gas. We're running on 87 octane gas. And that high compression, what it gets you is you get the most of the energy in the gas. You're able to capture more of that energy and turn it into forward motion. So it's the most fundamental way to improve the efficiency of an engine.
Those are only some of the improvements to this latest 3. Inside there's another. The company's developed their own all-new infotainment interface called Mazda Connect. It's comprised of a 7-inch touchscreen mounted high on the dash to minimize driver distraction, a command-style wheel controller, and voice recognition.
We benchmarked every infotainment system we could get our hands on, and we didn't find a single one that we thought was good. We're extremely picky about how a system should work, and car companies are notoriously a lot slower than electronics companies, phone companies at making these things. And so every time you're looking at one of these systems, you're looking at something that's out of date. So one of the key things we did with the system, in addition to just ignoring what we were seeing out there and building something from the fundamentals, is we built it to be upgradable. So if there's some new feature we want to do, some tweak we want to make, even after you've already bought the car, you can come in and get a jump drive, we'll put it into the USB port and upgrade the system after it's been sold. So we're not stuck being so out of date.
For such a small company, Mazda sure gets big results. Everything they come out with is best in class. The CX-9, the CX-5, the Mazda 6, and now the 3. With the best driving dynamics of any car competes with, excellent performance and fuel economy, the nicest interior, and compelling technology, Mazda has indeed reset the benchmark in the C segment. From San Diego, California, I'm Isaac Bouchard for Autoline Daily.
I've had a chance to drive the new Mazda 3 as well, and I agree with Isaac. It's a very good car. And don't forget to join us this Thursday night for Autoline After Hours. Our guest will be Mitch Claw, the vehicle line executive for the Jeep Cherokee. So if you've got any questions or want to learn more about that SUV, make sure you tune in tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time at our website, autoline.tv. But that's it for today's show. Once again, I'm Sean McElroy. Thanks for watching, and please join us right here again tomorrow.